Hey, it's Nico. Let's get to the video. All right. So if you're watching this, I am assuming that you are either a mother who's pregnant or someone who just wants to know what to avoid during pregnancy and a delivery in a hospital. So I just wanted to share my experiences with my first two babies. I currently am 30 to 31 weeks pregnant with my third baby, and I am mentally and physically and spiritually, emotionally preparing myself, all the things for this labor and delivery at this hospital. So I want to share that because if I can help even one mama to avoid the heartache, pain, grief, frustrations that I had to go through in my first two pregnancies, or with labor and delivery, then that would be a blessing. So here we go. I'll just start per pregnancy. It's probably easier. Baby number one was in 2018. I had my son Noah, and I had him at the hospital. This particular hospital is the same one I'm going to for my third baby, but there is a difference in care. So the first round with my son, I was at a different practice or woman's care. And it was cool for the most part. It was cool. They had like classes, parenting classes, or preparing for parenting classes, all the things, and that was fine. Um, the doctor, not so much, but we'll get into that. Um, so fast forward, I'm prepped. I done my water birth classes because this hospital you can try to have a water birth. Keyword try, ladies. If it does not work out, this is okay. So I get to the hospital and I really can't remember too much, like how much I was laboring at home, but I will go ahead and put this nugget out there that I will be doing this time. Labor at home as long as possible. Like, thug it out as long as you can. Handle it at home safely. The hospital from me now is like almost an hour away, so I'm still gonna try to labor as long as I can. Um, but when I got there, we got to the triage room. That's where you kind of labor and stuff. And I'm like, now that I think back on it, I'd rather have been at home laboring because if you're going through contractions and you're in the hospital setting and then they want to start putting IVs and stuff on you and monitoring you and it's still hours and hours. Like I'd rather spend hours and hours at home. I could have spent hours and hours in my tub or, just more comfortable. So there's a tip for you right there. Labor as long as you can at home. Do not rush to the hospital. And then a lot of times I hear they actually send you back home, which is so frustrating. So I'll create another video about ways you can monitor like your contractions when you kind of really know. And if you have a midwife or a doula, that's super great. And they can guide you through that as well. All right. So back to the birth or delivery. We're in triage, right? I'm laboring, I'm going through the contractions. And then I get out of triage and they put me in the actual birthing room, labor room, and I tried to do the water birth tub situation. So I got in the tub and going through the contractions, playing my worship music, but I started having like really, really, really bad back labor. I don't know where my boy was positioned, but girl, it was like he was trying to break my spine. I was like, oh Lord. So in my mind, I'm like, at first I thought it was gonna be a natural birth because I was gonna be one of those natural birth mamas. Like we giving the baby birth in the water or giving birth to the baby in the water and no medicine, no epidural, none of that. Girl, listen. If you have a back labor and you don't have someone there to be positioning you to do spinning babies and all that stuff to position the baby in the right way, all that like natural pride, it went out the window for me. So I actually ended up getting the epidural. So I guess that's tip number two. Don't have shame, don't have guilt. I honestly can't remember if I felt like shamed or guilty or like down on myself because I ended up getting the epidural. That's how bad the pain was. Like at this point, I don't even care. Whatever to help me get through this. So yeah, don't feel bad if your birth plans kind of adjust or they just fall apart. Like it is what it is. The goal is to give birth to a healthy baby and for you to give birth and feel healthy and be well taken care of during this process. So whatever that means, however that stress can come off of you, do it. So I got the epidural. My wonderful husband was there the whole time. He almost passed out, literally almost passed out because he watched them give me the epidural. So husbands, partners, support people. If you can't handle seeing things go in people's spines, I don't suggest that you actually look at the process. Just hold her hand and just hold her hand, keep your eyes closed, say prayers, sing a song, something. Just don't look, because literally my husband was sweating bullets, and he kind of like collapsed in the chair after the process was over. Mom, love you, husband, love you. After the epidural, and it started kicking in, things were flowing. Like when I say things were flowing, and they're like, "Oh, it's time to push," I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay, cool." And I think I labored. Don't I'm not exactly sure. I wanna say I was there for about at least 8 to 10 hours. At least 8 to 10 hours, I was there, and, so when they're like, "It's time," I'm like, "Okay," and I'm on my back, and I'm pushing. I don't really feel anything. They're like, "Oh, there's the head." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool," and then my son came out, so I'm actually in between trying to fill out, do I wanna get another epidural on purpose? Because I know there are mamas that actually just plan to get one. I'm in between, but that's another video, and we'll see what happens. So after that, overall, the experience at this hospital was fine. Like, the nurses were sweet, everyone was kind. The only thing I didn't like was the lactation person. I struggled with breastfeeding, and they were just like, "Ah," sorry, but it was bad, like it was just too much. Everyone was touching and pulling and yanking, and my son wasn't having it. I wasn't having it. I really wasn't producing colostrum like that. And so here's another thing. And I'll do a deeper dive on colostrum, another video. Um, but colostrum, if you don't know, this nickname liquid gold is the substance that comes out of your breast before your breast milk is fully ready to go, and is very small amounts, and you only need small amounts because the baby's stomach is only so big. Anyways, you really have to hand express the colostrum out. And I didn't know that you can do this before you give birth, but I'll do another video on that because I'm like, really? Wow. Okay. But the issue was it takes a while. You got to figure out how to hand express it and use very little amounts. So I'm trying to do this after giving birth and just, trying to get adjusted to life with a newborn in this hospital, you know. And I just felt like guilty or nervous, like, oh, he's not getting enough to eat. And so they're like, hey, you want the bottle? He's not really latching well, and you seem kind of stressed. Your blood pressure's high. You're not getting enough colostrum out. So we can give him a bottle. And I'm like, okay. So long story short, he ended up getting a bottle. And that caused issues. That caused so many issues, feeding wise, breastfeeding wise, in the long run. And I just wish I would have just advocated or known to say, no, he's a baby. He may not be that hungry. His stomach is this big. I'm going to keep pressing for this colostrum, and he'll get it somewhere or another. So just know that your body, if you're healthy and everything's good, will produce what the baby needs. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel like your baby's about to just starve. Like, just don't. Like, if things are happening, things are coming out, and he's getting a little bit, he or she's getting a little bit of the nutrients, just be patient before you feel like mom guilt and give them a bottle because you might regret it afterwards. It does hinder like feeding issues once you leave the hospital. And guess who's not there with you when you're dealing with those breastfeeding issues? Those nurses that told you to get that bottle and that formula. And formula is a whole nother issue now because there's recalls, it's expensive. You got to go through different ones to see what formula doesn't hurt the baby's belly and all this stuff. So that I will say, try to keep things as natural as possible. All right. So the last thing on that hospital birth that I had an issue with, which I will say, if you can't advocate for yourself, please have someone advocate for you. The doctor that I did not like. She actually came in and she was like, "Hey, Amanda, how are you doing?" And in my mind, I'm just like, "Who's Amanda?" Because my name's Nicolette. I don't know what you're talking about. So I was like, that's just how much care and consideration this doctor had. Like, I really don't remember her. And the fact that she didn't even know my name. And then she did the circumcision for my son and she did a hack job. If you can wait to have your baby circumcised, please do it if that's something you want to do. Because we ended up having to get a corrective surgery done on him because she did such a terrible job. So please don't assume that just because someone has delivered hundreds of babies that they know how to circumcise little boys. Don't do. I honestly would have waited, and if I was having a boy this round, I was planning on waiting and getting someone who specializes in circumcisions. If we chose to go that route, to do it because I don't trust people taking my baby and cutting off skin when they just came out of me. And I know that sounds kind of graphic, but that's what they do. And I'm like, mm-mm. And she did a terrible job, and I just don't trust it. So, and I would just say if you can wait, I will wait. It's not a medical emergency to have them circumcised. Um, So, anyways, that was pregnancy number one. Hospital wise, it wasn't terrible. It's just birth plans got off track, and then the breastfeeding thing that was I could have done without that. Here's one more thing. Be mindful of who you have in the room with you, your support person. So I had my husband at first, but I had my stepson. I have a stepson, so he was like I think 7 or 8. So he had to, go get him, take care of him. So we switched off with my mom. I love my mom, by the way. She's the best. But my mom is a snorer. She snores very, very loud. And so she was in the room with me. I'm trying to rest, looking at my beautiful, beautiful baby boy, and I'm trying to get some sleep after all this, people touching me, and we're trying all these things and emotions. And then my mom is like on that couch snoring so loud, so I cannot sleep. I love you, mama. And I already told you this story, so. But I'm just saying, just be mindful because that was also something that was like, oh, this is not the experience I really thought I was going to have. Okay. Um, Now, we'll move on to baby number 2. This was probably the worst labor and delivery. But it is. I'm praying this one's not. I'm praying this baby is the best. But this really was the worst out of the 2 so far. I decided to change my care, obviously, because I wasn't going back to the doctor who couldn't even know my name and had up my baby's circumcision. Okay. So second baby is a girl, and I decided to go to the Atlanta Birth Center because it was like the only birth center really in Georgia. I don't know if there's another one, but this is the closest one at the time. And overall, staff was great. Like I wasn't mad at the staff. Midwives were lovely. I even got chiropractic work through them. So I think it's prenatal chiropractic work. Either way, lovely. Everything was lovely, right? Only issues that really came up. Well, not only issue. The first issue that came up was like right when I was about to go into labor, and my blood pressure was high. Now, in both my pregnancies, I gained an obnoxious amount of weight, which is a whole nother video. Uh, I didn't know better. I really didn't know better. I thought that was just a thing that you're supposed to gain a bunch of weight when you're pregnant. That is not true. But high blood pressure runs in my family, especially when we're overweight. And I got to the point of being obese. Side note, I'm 5'3.5", and I think with my daughter during my pregnancy, I got to like 180, 190, and that was tough. That was really tough. So my blood pressure was higher than what they allowed to give birth at the birth center. And if you don't know, a birth center is like a nice little cozy center. They have like 3 different rooms with different themes. It's just nice and pretty and decorative. So your whole time you're going here like, "Yes, I can't wait to give birth in one of these pretty rooms." And I get to the birth center to get checked because I'm telling her, I feel like I'm going into labor. These contractions are stronger. They check my blood pressure and they're like, "Oh, your blood pressure is way too high. You can't give birth here." And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I can't give birth here? They're like, "Yeah, we can't, legally allow you to give birth here. We got to transfer you to the hospital." Okay. So I let that sink in and we're going to have to induce you. What? Induce moi? Why? What? That was not discussed. Um, so yeah, it was complete shock. One, all my hopes and dreams of giving birth in the birth center just shattered. And then you're telling me I need to be induced like tonight. I think I was like, what was I? Was I 39 weeks? I think I was 39, going on 40 weeks. It may have been 40. I can't remember. I felt like she came after. But anyways, that doesn't matter. The fact was, one, I can't give birth in my little water pool again. That was my way of trying again. I can't give birth in a pretty room. So now I'm be back in a little hospital setting. And then you're telling me I need to go right now. That was not the plan. And then this tops it off. What kind of tops it off? It leads more to it. The hospital was not the best hospital. It was not the highest ranked hospital. It was no, it was not a good hospital. It was so not good. The hospital even exists today. They tore that joint down, I think, this year. The hospital is gone. Good. Um, but another point is 2020. So it's just like everyone's just so tight. Everyone's just so like, you know how intense it was during 2020. So me and my husband were like, I don't know. Let's go back home. Let me labor this out a little bit more. Because the contractions were bad, but they weren't bad enough for me to be like, okay, this I gotta go because she's about to come out. Um, and I was like torn. I was like, I don't know. I felt like there was pressure, like, hey, if you don't come get induced now, like we're not going to not necessarily be there to help or provide service. I don't know. I just felt there was some kind of pressure. It was a lot of pressure for me to go get induced and give birth. And that bothered me because I think in my first pregnancy I did deal with blood pressure issues still, but there was no like pressure to get induced and give birth right away, like none. So I think that's why it also shocked me. The blood pressure didn't shock me at all because we were dealing with it. Anyways, the pressure got to me so bad, I ended up going to the hospital. Oh, ghetto hospital. Let me not call it ghetto, but it was like you can just tell the quality of care was just not as nice as the other hospital I went to. Um, I'll go ahead and say the benefit of this hospital is my labor room was lovely. Like I had a great view of downtown Atlanta. Um, but that was about it. So it's COVID. My husband can't come in with me to do the swab. I had to get the full on swab, like up to the brain. I am dealing with contractions. I am stressed. I am sad. And now I have to get this swab up to my brain to check for something I know I don't have. And my husband can't even be there with me. So I'm just riding. It's just me and the Lord. So that was just another strike. That was so uncomfortable. And they were just kind of like, it is what it is. This is what you gotta do. Uh and then they gave me the balloon. If you don't know what the balloon is, it's something that helps induce. They put it up inside of you, and then it's supposed to eventually widen your cervix very unnaturally, and it's just not very comfortable. And I remember this is one of the worst parts of this situation. at this hospital. So I had the balloon. I'm all hooked up to the IVs. I hate those things. And then the nurse that gave me the IV stuck me so hard. I bruised. It hurt so bad. Yeah. I'm getting frustrated thinking about it all over again. And so that's one of the nurses. And then another nurse that came to check on me, or she came to check on me, and she literally came to my bedside. Now remember, I had this balloon, and I believe they gave me, it wasn't Pitocin. I'm so sorry, I forgot. It was something else. If I can remember, I'll link it, or not link it. I'll title it on the video what medicine it was to help induce. So I had two things: a balloon and this other pill. I'm contracting really bad. And the nurse comes in. She doesn't really say anything to me. I'm laying there. She comes, pulls the cover over to check the balloon. When I say she checks it, she yanks the balloon. Now, just imagine my cervix was not ready. So I have this balloon trying to go through this little hole, and she's trying to yank it. She yanked it. When I tell you, I can't even put words to the pain. And I've never wanted to strangle, slap, be physically violent with somebody so bad. And I'm not that person. But uh, if I could have at that moment, she would have had problems. She would have needed to stay in the hospital in another part. She may need to go to the ER because that's how bad it was. But I'm a good person to fold in my emotions sometimes. So, and she went off. She knew she hurt me so bad. She didn't even say anything. She just walked off. All right. So here we are. Here we are. I'm stressed. They keep checking my blood pressure, and it gets so bad the machine just keeps going off. It's like, I'm like, yeah, that's happening. Anyways, eventually the balloon is ready to come out, and then they give me, I think right before they take the balloon out or after, they give me the Pitocin. All this to induce all of this unnaturalness made it so like the contractions were so bad. Like, and my precious Noah, when I had back contractions with him, they were bad. Trust me, they were intense. But these were just like unnaturally intense. This is like someone's hurting me. It wasn't a natural like body contraction. It was just like artificial pain. So they got so bad. I was like, okay, you didn't give me the epidural, right? So they're like, okay, I requested it. I was not waiting for no suggestion. I was like, give me the epidural. The problem was it was too late. I could not get the epidural. They're like, oh no, it's too late now. We done so much stuff. We ready to go. I was like, oh Lord, this is not the natural birth I thought I was gonna have. This is like natural artificial birth. So I'm on my back now. I'm back on my back, and I have to push. And when I say I felt everything, I felt everything. Like when my daughter's head was coming out, I told them like, no, put it back. I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not pushing no more. Put her back. I don't know. I don't know how y'all gonna do that, but we gotta try this again. And they're like, no, you gotta push, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, we had the midwives come from the birth center. Like the midwives were great. She was wonderful. Like I think she's the main midwife, but she was wonderful. And I'm still blessed that I had them, but it was so bad. And I'm like, there's a moment I'm like, God, this can't be right. This is not how this is supposed to feel. This shouldn't feel like this. It's like, there's no way the earth was populated if all the pregnancies felt this bad. So yeah, we had my baby. Baby girl came out very painful. I tore both my pregnancies, but all the pain, I couldn't feel nothing about being stitched up or whatever. Yeah, baby girl came out. I don't think there was any complication with baby girl. Still no breastfeeding. It was tough. And I feel like it was so traumatic. It'd been hard anyways, and it's just the care was not good. It just wasn't good, and blood pressure was rising over and over. And I had baby girl December 30th. And I remember the room that we're in was so dank. It was ugly. It was just drab. It was small. It was just not nice. And I just didn't like it at all. I was just so uncomfortable there. And so by the time, we got settled in that first night or first day, whatever, is all kind of a blur, I was ready to go. I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want them touching my child. I don't want them touching me. My husband didn't want to be there. It was just not a great experience. So they kept checking for my blood pressure. It kept going higher and higher and higher. Of course, because I'm stressed. I don't want to be here. And I was telling my husband, I was like, we gotta get out of here. And they wanted to keep me there for New Year's, like through New Year's. I was like, no, absolutely not. No. So when I said we had to like kind of argue to get out of there, like, hey, we want to leave. And it felt like we were in a prison in the sense they're like, no, you can't leave. What do you mean you want to leave? You can't leave this place. So we tell you to. And I'm like, wait, this is America. What we doing here? Like, so we literally had to like sign discharge papers with like a waiver or whatever saying, I don't know what the paper said. It was more than just discharge paper. It was like something legally, like you're deciding to leave and we're not saying you can leave or suggesting you leave or whatever. And whatever happens to you, what happens to you. Fine, bye, peace. Because whatever has happened to me here under your care has been very terrible. So for the most part, I was like, I'll take my chances with the Lord and at home. And we were just fine. I was so happy. And I remember it was nighttime, it was raining, and I was like, just thank you, God, for getting us out of this place. It was so bad. Now, there are nice hospitals where things can still kind of happen. So the things I say, a takeaway is like, don't feel like you have to get induced right away. Unless like actual, obviously I'm not a doctor. If it's really a medical emergency, I don't feel like mine was a medical emergency. Like for them to do all those inductions, it was like three different types. I'm like, y'all just trying to just unnaturally have me open over here. So just I would say if it's not a medical emergency, really wait it out. Ask questions like, is it a medical emergency or y'all just suggesting? Because sometimes they just suggest. Like we think you should or this may help. But if it's not life death for you or the baby, like I would take your time on getting induced that way. And also the order that they do induce you, because I didn't realize there's different orders. Like I didn't have to get the balloon before the Pitocin because that was just bad. It was just all bad. Um, yeah, so just take your time. Take your time. Don't put up with bad nurses. Don't put up with anyone touching you in a way you don't want to be touched. I don't care if they're medical providers or not. If you don't want your breast squeezed on, if you don't want them doing cervical the checks, say no. Like this is still your body, it's your baby. You take care of you. And if you can have someone there to advocate for you, someone with a big boy, big girl voice, and like, no, leave her alone. No, we're gonna ask this question and you're gonna answer it. Okay. So yeah, don't put up with bad care at all. It's supposed to be care. Don't put up with bad care. And don't feel like you are a prisoner. If there's a moment you feel like you're a prisoner in the hospital, you probably should get out of there. Honestly, if you're just that uncomfortable, I would definitely advocate for asking to have an early release because mm-mm. No, what do we no, okay. So Um, those are basically my 2 birth stories. Now with this one, like I said, I'm going back to the first hospital I gave birth with my son. Will I have the baby in the water? That would be a blessing. 3rd time's a charm. We'll see what happens. If not, I'm okay. Um, I'm open now and just to give some context. My son is 7, about to be 8. My daughter's 5. She'll be 6 this year. So I've had a long span. I was not expecting to have a third, but I'm so happy I am. And I'm just going with the flow. So if it's your first pregnancy, I know it may be tough because you're trying to learn everything. Go with the flow. Um, don't be married to a birth plan. Be secure in it. Like make your plan like I would like this to happen and make sure you have certain things like in place where if you know for a fact something's gonna make you uncomfortable, then have things in place, have a advocate for you. Have a list of things to show, like, hey, this is not going to go down unless it's a medical emergency. You're not going to make me uncomfortable in this hospital. Like, we're not doing that. You need to answer all my questions before I give an answer. And you need to give me time to think about that. And you need to give me the pros and the cons. So I would definitely say go with the flow and be prepared for things to change, and also be prepared for either you stand up for yourself or have someone stand up for you, whether it's a doula, spouse, partner, friend, whatever. So you can have a smooth pregnancy and delivery and postpartum. That's a whole nother video too. Postpartum care. Oh my gosh, there's so much to this. But this video is probably obnoxiously long now. Um, so yes, with that being said, I really hope my experience can help you. And I really hope my experience helps me with this third one. And of course, I'll do a follow up. I'm definitely gonna do a follow up because I have to do a follow up. And I'm just praying that for this labor and delivery, it really feels like a beautiful experience. I've watched a lot of videos recently, and there's been some crazy labor and deliveries. There've been some beautiful ones. They just breathe the baby out. So that's why I'm like, I'm just trying to breathe the baby out. That's really what I want. Oh, hello. Come on. We here now. You in the video. This is baby number 2 who had the crazy birth, and this is baby number 1 who had the not so bad birth, but he was on my back. He was on my back. He was on my back. So
I have a lot of experience about train.
yes. So, all right, let me close the video out, y'all. We close the video out. Y'all can come back in. Let me close. Go. Let me do this. All right. So, but you see, I had beautiful babies, beautiful children, and it was worth everything. I would change things, the birthing, but I was so blessed to have my babies. Um, with that, just remember, like, these are small moments. They feel big at the moment, but they grow up so fast, as they say. So embrace it, enjoy it. No, it's gonna hurt. Things are gonna hurt. But once they come out and everything else is fine, no health issues, no emergencies, the pain and all this other stuff just goes away in that moment. And so I am praying to God that if you are about to give birth, if you're pregnant, that you have a smooth pregnancy and you have a beautiful labor delivery. If there's any medical emergencies, that God covers you and He heals you, heals your body, especially during postpartum, and just covers your baby and your family and everyone who's supporting you. So I pray that this was a blessing for you. If you took notes, great. If you didn't, I got timestamps, so you can just go to those and just remind yourself. And yeah, so have a happy birth, have a blessed birth, and I will see you in the next video.